Hey guys, it's me Anthony from Obsessive Stationery. Today I'm teaching you guys how to plan for finals. And it's very easy, just seven easy steps. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and things like that to help you along your way for planning for finals. I know AP exams are probably in a week or two from now, but I hope this video is still helpful no matter when you're watching this. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. The first step is mentally prepare yourself. I'm going to tell you this now. It just helps in general because it's going to take a long time. You're going to be looking at a lot of past scores that you probably won't want to look at all. So mentally preparing yourself is a great thing I always do. So like the day before, I go, tomorrow is finals planning day, prepare. And so usually when you're setting up for finals, I like to have music on or something that makes me happy, because when you're looking at scores and if you see a lot of low scores from a certain time where you didn't understand a concept, or a lot of high scores, it's very fluctuate sometimes. So therefore, mentally prepare yourself. It just does you great in the end. Okay, step 2, go through every single notes page you have for that class. This is going to help you in creating your plan. So open up a Google Docs, a Word document. Make sure you type all of them out so you know how many topics you need to study. And one more thing, be smart like I wasn't. Use the numbering system, because you don't have to do all the adding at the end like I did. But then if you don't want to use the numbering system, you don't have to, but the number line system thing works a lot better than just typing it out. What I did when I typed mine out, I made sure I had them split up by unit as well. So I had the unit and the unit chapter, the unit name in bold, and I wrote all the subtopics and topics under that unit in a regular sized font. This is just so I can differentiate what unit's which, and also I can see what semester is which. After you type this document out, you can either print it out or do this step in the actual software that you typed up the document in. Is make sure you go through and make noticeable changes to things that you struggled with. So for instance, if I struggled with a certain topic in geometry, I'll make sure to highlight it so when I do go into my finals plan, I know what topic I struggled with the most. So you can either do a color code system or just highlight all the same color. I know one year I did mine based off proficiency. This year I did mine based off semester. So therefore, just make sure you have a way of noticing which topics you struggled with the most, and you know how to go back and review them. And another thing is, if your teacher did just give you a mock EOC or something, a mock testing that could have been a model of what the real test might look like, make sure you go back and look at those scores, and you can look at those standards and things like that to make sure you're getting an up-to-date, more change. If not, you could just have to go back to your grade portal and highlight those topics that you struggled with back then. Okay, step 5. This is the most enjoyable part of this, is making a bullet journal spread. I'm pretty sure if you are one of my viewers, you have a bullet journal. If you're not, you probably have a planner. There's some type of system you use for keeping up with your schoolwork, and make sure you keep that up. You can also just use a piece of paper, but you need something so you know what you're supposed to be doing each day for each class, if that makes sense. So if I knew I need to do geometry once a day, I may have a weekly tracker like I did this year, because I noticed that doing day by day isn't what I need. I just need a task list so I know what I have to do each week. And also another thing you need to do is learn yourself. That sounds really weird, but if you know that a day by day tracker and things saying you have to do this today, you have to do this today, and that doesn't work for you, make sure you try something new. I always try a weekly tracker for finals plan. It just helps me out, because if I get a task list, that means I can get more done one specific day, I can get less done another specific day. That's something great I know. So I used a weekly spread this year. Not a weekly spread, a weekly tracker for my finals plan. Step 6 is the most mathematical part of the whole entire thing. So say you have 31 topics like I did for geometry, and I gave myself 30 days. That's approximately 1 to 2 topics a day. So therefore, I knew in my weekly tracker I need to put in 7 topics per week. So do that for the same class. So say you have maybe 15 topics and 30 days to study. You have to do at least maybe 4 a week at most. So therefore, make sure you know how many topics you need to study each day to give yourself an efficient amount of time to study. And then also something I didn't talk about, or I didn't show, I guess you can say, is that at the end of the week, basically we're the week before finals, the week after, and the 2 weeks of finals, make sure you fill your finals plan with a lot of practice questions and practice tests and practice exams. And as well as filling those in, make sure while you are planning for finals, you are thinking about ways you want to review for your finals as well. So for geometry, I know I wanted to at least go back over all the formulas for that topic, do a whole bunch of practice questions for that topic, and then also if that was one of those highlighted low scores topic, go over a Khan Academy video so therefore I can grasp the topic more efficiently. If that didn't work, also go on YouTube. There's a lot of resources out there for you guys to learn, so I'll link some of them in the description box below for you guys, especially for all my geometry kids. Step 7 is just where you're writing out all the topics per week. So therefore, I have to write my 7 topics for geometry: 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And you may have noticed that I have bolder lines for around certain boxes, and this is because it helps me know that I have more days out of school to get more finals planning done. So therefore, I might put a couple extra topics on that week, or just make sure I know I have more time to get those things done. So that first one was March 9th to the 15th, which means I had 4 days out of school that week, and then I had spring break, which is obviously a whole week out of school. Now that you have all these things written down, you have to actually study it. Make sure you study consistently, and make sure you're not doing it every other day. I mean, you can do it every other day, but make sure it's not a big gap in between when you're studying and when you're not studying, because that makes this not efficient at all. So make sure you're studying consistently and keeping on top of your actual plan. Tips for planning for finals. One thing you have to do, must do, is plan for roadblocks. If you don't know what I mean by roadblocks, this is just times where you won't be able to study. Point blank period. Like last year with my parents' wedding, I had to cancel 3 days of studying and put that all in one day. So therefore, make sure you plan out for roadblocks. That will save you a lot of time trying to figure out when can you study or how can you study, and try not to cram all of it in. I would say is also make sure that you set aside a certain time or time limit if needed to get finals plan done, because most often than not, you're gonna have a lot more schoolwork to do even with the final season coming up. So therefore, you might have to set aside a certain amount of time or a certain time where you do finals plan, and that's all you do for a good hour or two, because finals plan for me sometimes can take up to an hour to 2 hours. It just all depends on how well I grasp that topic. And another thing is, don't be afraid to skip a day. If maybe you skip a day by accident, or you just didn't feel good or didn't want to do it, just make sure you pick the slack up on the next day or when you get back to studying. I would say 2 days max is the amount of time that you should not study. So if you study on a Monday, the next day you should probably study to Thursday. If you skip 2 days, but you should be doing it every day of your plan. Another thing is, don't be scared to skip something or ashamed that you missed something as well. So if you know there's a topic you've struggled with a lot and you know you might need more time, and say it's Monday and the plan says to do something that takes a little less time, but you know you have a lot more time than you would on the day with the topic you struggled with, you can always switch those around. You don't have to do it in the same order. As long as you get both of those topics done, it is okay. And also, if you missed something but did for the final, at least you did some practice test or some type of practice problem on that question, and maybe you did not get to do the full review thing like you wanted to, but don't be ashamed of that. At least you did something and you aren't not knowing what it is. So I will be having a video about how to create a productive workspace, so therefore you guys can watch that. I'll link it in the cards and the description box below when it is uploaded. And also make sure you guys have some type of water while you're studying. I know finals can get stressful, and good luck to anyone taking those AP exams, and I would say good luck to anyone taking finals, but as of right now, finals are canceled for the rest of the school year. So stay safe, guys, stay healthy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, got some inspiration, you learned something new, learn how to plan for finals, and I love you guys. And make sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, study amino, and TikTok at Stationary. And that is it. See you guys next week. Bye.